Okay, I think we are live now. Okay, who is in the house? Can you say hi in the comment section? And also, whenever you come to class, check on your friends. Remember, um, the goal is to also meet new friends, make new friends, and connect with one another because you don't know tomorrow one of you might be the president, and it will be a privilege to have coached a president. All right. So whenever you come to class, not just PDAC class, maybe in school, in church, any gathering, try to make friends with people that share the same values with you, not on serious ones. All right. Okay. I can see. Okay, Kiki's birthday is on Tuesday, and she's the chef in the house. So she's gonna be doing pizza for all of us. All right. So next week Sunday we will sing happy birthday for you. And in case your birthday falls within this week or maybe this month, just let me know. All right. So you can greet yourselves, you can say hi, but don't be distracted. All right. Okay, so today is another wonderful day. I can see Dominion, um, Daniela, Divine, the two queens in the house from their different kingdoms, and then Shimi and Dara. All right, so like I usually say, you can use the first letter of your name to form an amazing adjective and attach it to your name. Let's say for Daniela, Daniela starts with letter D. So you form a word like daring Daniela or darling Daniela or um what other amazing words start with letter D? Distinguished Daniela, that means unique. Okay. So Christ like Christabel, amazing. So rename yourself. Just go to the participants, click on your name. You will see the option to change your name, then add the adjective to your name. All right, you are all welcome once again to today's class. Let us have a conversation before others join us, okay? Okay, let me go to the comment section and see what's happening there. Who has greeted us? Okay, Kiki, Christabel. Hmm. So I only have Kiki and Christabel in the house. If you can hear me, apart from Kiki and Christabel, just say hi in the comment section so that I will know that you can hear me. I'm trying to get our YouTube family to join the class. Nobody has said hi to me. Wow, that's serious. Just Christabel and Kiki. Now, good. Darling, wait. I did not see that. Wait. It's coming in fast. Let me go up. Some of you have changed your name. Okay. Um, Darling Daniela. Okay, Daring Daniela and Darling Divine. Beautiful. Okay, the Malobos are here. Obi and Kamso, you're welcome. All right. So, who can tell me what we learned last week? Because last week class was so amazing. Oh my goodness. Coach Christine is not here. I was so blessed. not just by Coach Christine. Some of you were really asking questions. Yes, there was somebody that was asking it. Where is Jennifer? I noticed someone in the class last week, Jennifer. She was asking some questions. I'm like, wow, who is this girl? Well, I don't know if it's a girl or an auntie, but I don't know if she's here. All right. And then I saw what Malobo did. I saw, and most of you were giving amazing feedback, and that was just awesome. That was awesome. Okay. So, what was our topic last week? I can see it coming in, empathy. Empathy. Okay, what was your take home from last week class? Let me see if truly last week impacted you. And if it's possible for you to share with us how you applied empathy, please do. If you want to speak through the mic, please raise your hand. I love the way Daniela read for us last week. That was amazing. First time hearing Daniela read. And today I'm going to be picking one of you. Oh, just that I'll be reading from my book. Gosh, I wish most of you have the books. Somebody would have read. But no problem. I want to hear some of your voices through the mic. Okay, Muna Shimso and Chizitelu wants to speak through the mic. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me ask you to unmute. Okay, you can unmute. Chizitelu and Muna Shimso. I thought you wanted to speak through the mic. Who wants to speak through the mic? Who wants to share with us what happened last week? How were you blessed? Because I love what you guys did last week. I was so impressed. Like, wow, this is so amazing. Somebody to share through the mic. I need to hear one of your voices. I need to hear your amazing voice. Raise your hand and I will give you the mic. Somebody, before we move into today's class. Anyone? Christabel. All right. Christabel, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Good evening, sir. Hello there. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. We can hear you. Go on.
I learned that we should be empathetic and know when to help people and when it's just and when the difference between empathy and sympathy, the difference between empathy and when to help somebody and when to leave them alone.
Okay, beautiful. All right, thank you so much, Christabel. That was amazing. Daniela, daring Daniela, you can speak.
I learned about empathy, and our case study was about Cressy and the broken pot, and how he helped Amara, and he didn't only feel sorry for her, like he didn't only have sympathy for her, but he had empathy for her. He felt sad for her, and then he acted on it.
Wow, that is so lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daniela. Wow, I love the fact that um you guys are becoming more confident, more bold to speak and share your mind. Oh my goodness, I thought my video was on all this while. It's on my video. Yeah. I'm saying computer, your video is not on because she's only the one that is always talking. Ah, can you see my small face? All right. Okay. So. Thank you, Daniela. That was amazing. That was awesome. All right. What are we having today? What is our topic for today? This topic is a very practical topic. This topic is really, really practical. It's very important because it's something that we face every day. Conflict resolution. Conflict resolution. I want to do something. I want somebody to read what is on the screen. Who wants to read what is on the screen? I've heard Christabel's voice. I've heard Daniela. Wow. Okay. Okay, let me grant the birthday girl. Kiki, read what you have on the screen.
Conflict resolution. When we are no longer able to change a solution, we are challenged to change ourselves.
Good.
Victor E.
Great.
Frankl.
Victor E. Frank. I'll be Frankel, anyone. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you, Kiki. Okay, so who understands that quote underneath the topic? Who wants to try and explain what that quote means? It says, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Who wants to explain what this quote means? Daniela and Kiki. Are you the only ones I have in class? I was expecting to see more hands. Okay, let me give the mic to Daniela.
I think it means about conflict resolution, like when you are in a difficult situation, like it says when you're no longer able to change a situation, like a bad situation happened and like and you can't think of any way to get out of it, you're challenged to change yourselves. I think it means that when you're in a bad situation, sometimes you have to find a resolution a or something to fix the problem.
All right, thank you so much for that. That was lovely. Okay, Christabel, let me hear you.
I think it means that when we are in certain situations and we've tried every alternative, we should step back and reflect to see where the problem is with us.
Hmm, wonderful. That is amazing. Thank you for that. Okay, you guys have done so amazingly well. All right. Now, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. It simply means there are some situations you cannot change. There are some things you don't have the power to change. All right. For example, let me use our country. We all know how our country can be. Not everyone will be nice. Not everyone will be law-abiding citizen. Okay, so we cannot change everybody. You can't say you want to change your country because you don't have the power to change another person. The only person you can change is yourself. So that change you want to see in your country, you need to start effecting it in you. You need, if you want to see a country that is neat, law abiding, filled with love and respect and empathy, you have to be an example. All right. I think it was President Barack Obama that said the change that we want to see in the world starts with us. It starts with us. Okay. So that change you want to see, you need to start it with you. You need to change if you are going to see that change happening around you. All right. So let's move on. Hope you are with your writing materials. Hope you are with your journal. Because last week I was with my journal. Oh my goodness. I was writing down the amazing things that you were saying and the awesome thing that Coach Christine was teaching us. Okay. All right. What are the objectives of today's lesson? By the end of this lesson, you will be able to define what conflict resolution is, understand why conflicts happen, and how to approach them constructively. Practice a simple 4-step method to resolving conflicts peacefully. All right. So we have a story for today. And yeah, Malubo was asking me which book I was referring to. I was referring to this book. This is our textbook, the Personal Development Skills Guidebook. Yep. So I'll be reading the story from the book, the complete story, because what we have on the slide is just a summarized version. So please pay attention to the story. as you all know that questions will come from the story. So our case study today is the story of Kwesi and the shared water. The story of what? Kwesi and the shared water. Let's go. In a small town in Kenya, two young brothers, Kwesi and his younger brother, Tabo, shared a single bucket of water each morning for their chores. One morning, Tabo used all the water to wash his hands before Kwesi could get any. Kwesi got very angry. "You are selfish," he yelled. "Now I have no water for my chores." Tabo yelled back, "I needed it. You always take so long to get ready." The two brothers began to argue loudly. Their father, a wise man who had seen many conflicts, came and sat them down. He did not take sides. He said, "Your anger is like a storm. It makes a lot of noise, but it doesn't solve any problem." Can you imagine that? Your anger is like the storm. It makes a lot of noise, but it doesn't solve any problem. How many of you have had conflict with your younger ones or your elderly ones? You've had, or with your friends, you've had misunderstanding, disagreement. Is anyone like that here? Let me go to the comment section to be sure that you can hear me. Has anyone had me? Good. Good. Oh, I've had a lot of conflict in the past. A lot, especially when I had not known anything about conflict resolution, empathy, respect, and I do have misunderstanding with my brothers, my sisters, my friends, and sometimes the amazing teenagers back then that I was coaching. We have misunderstanding, disagreement. Conflict is just disagreement, misunderstanding. And then one person is claiming to be right, the other person is claiming to be right. And two wrongs cannot make a right. Okay? So conflict arises, even with your best friend. Oh, you have a best friend, your bestie for life. Conflict is bound to happen. So the question is not to run away from conflict. Question is, do you know how to handle conflict? All right, let's see what happened. Let's see if their dad was able to settle the dispute between them. Okay. So their father said, "Your anger is like a storm. It makes a lot of noise, but it doesn't solve the problem. Let's find a way to make the sun shine again." He taught them a simple method for conflict resolution. Step one, if you're with your journal, you can write this down. Step one, listen to each other. That is the first step. Listen to each other. He had them each state their side without interrupting. Kwesi said he was angry because he had no water. Tabo said he was worried about being late and needed to wash his hands. So that is step one, listen to each other. Step two, understand the real problem. The father helped them see that the real problem wasn't that one was selfish or slow. The problem was that there wasn't enough time and not enough water for both of them to do their chores in the morning. Okay, so who can remind me step one? What's the first step to resolving a conflict? Who can remind me the first step to resolving a conflict? I'm waiting. Oh, you did not get it. All right. The first step to resolving a conflict is listen to each other. The second step, which I just said now, is understand the real problem. Thank you, Chimamanda and Kemsinachi. So the first step is listen to each other. The second step is understand the real problem. Now, step three is brainstorm solutions together. brainstorm solutions together. They came up with ideas. And what were the ideas they came up with? Number one, get up early to get water. Number two, take turns using the water. Number three, ask their mother for a second bucket. All right. Instead of them to share the same bucket, they could ask their mom to get a second bucket so that they both can have their own water. Step 4, which is the last step, agree on a solution. Agree on a solution. So let me take the steps again. Step 1 is listen to each other. Step 2 is understand the real problem. Step 3 is brainstorm solutions together. Then step 4 is agree on a solution. They all agree to ask their mother for a second bucket. And in the meantime, they would take turns so that each had enough time. The conflict was resolved not by one person winning, but by both of them working together to find a peaceful solution. Kwesi and Tabo learned that conflict resolution is about finding a way forward, not about assigning blame. Not about what? Assigning blame. All right? And Dino said, I did not hear you. Okay, let me take the steps again quickly. Step 1, these are the steps to resolving conflict. Step 1, listen to each other. Okay, when there's a conflict, you listen to each other. Try to understand the real problem. That is step 2. Is when you listen that you can understand what the real problem is. Then step 3 is brainstorm solutions together. Bring up solutions. Brainstorming means think of different ways to solve a problem. Think of different ways to solve a problem. And step 4 is agree on a solution. Okay, so there was a story about a man who had 3 sons, and the man had 17 cows. 17 cows. And then in his will, he stated that the first son should have 4 cows, the second son should have 3, and the third should have 2. That is how many? 4 plus 3 plus 2. That is 9, right? And then the remaining one should be given to the orphanage, all right? But when the man died, the sons started fighting among themselves. The first son said, I'm the first son, I should have the biggest, I should have the largest share. The second son said, no, daddy said we should share it like this. The third son said, no, I'm the last born, I should have the biggest. And then they started arguing and arguing and arguing. It became a serious argument, very, very serious. So they had to go and meet their daddy friend, a very wise man, who listened to the 3 of them and discovered that none of them has a problem, okay? The problem is not from the first, it's not from the second, it's not from the third. The problem is simply sharing the cows so that every one of them will get equal shares and there will be no issues, all right? So now the question is, you cannot divide 17 cows into 3. You would have 2 remaining. If you want to divide 17 cows into 3, you would have 2 remaining because every one of them will get 5 cows each, then remaining 2. Okay, so when the wise man shared the cow equally amongst the brothers, the remaining 2 he then gave to the orphanage. And that was how the conflict was settled. All right. So conflict resolution is not about you being the winner. You don't win in a conflict you don't win in a conflict. Okay, you find a solution that works for both parties. If not, there's going to be a serious issue. Okay, so now let's move to the next slide. Now we have the definition of conflict resolution. What is conflict resolution? You can write this down. Conflict resolution is the process of resolving a disagreement or dispute. Let me take that again. Conflict resolution is the process of resolving a disagreement or what? Or dispute. Who remember the story of Solomon when two women came to meet him and they were crying over a baby? One said, "This baby is mine." The other said, "No, the baby is mine." Who remember that story? If you remember, say, "I do." Just type "I do." If you remember the story of Solomon settling the dispute between two women that were claiming a child. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. Anthony, remember. So now, this is what happened. Solomon was not there when they gave birth. Solomon did not know who owns the child, all right? So this was what happened. Two women gave birth. At night, when they were sleeping, one of them mistakenly slept and laid upon her own child, and the child died. Okay? And when she woke up, she discovered that her child is dead because of her carelessness. What did she do? She quietly went and exchanged her dead child with the living child of the other woman. And then when the woman woke up, she was like, this is not my baby. This is not my baby. And then she realized that the other woman has a baby. And then conflict started. There was disagreement. There was argument. This is my baby. She said, no, it's my baby. The dead baby is yours. There was chaos here and there until they took the both of them to King Solomon. And Solomon was like, wow, this is a serious issue. Okay, let me hear both sides. The one that killed her own baby by mistake said, oh, my king, while I was sleeping at night, this wicked woman, she killed her own baby and came and exchanged our babies together. And now she wants to claim my baby. No, that one is lying. That was a big lie. But the real mother was like, no, king, that was not what happened. I know my baby. I was the one that gave birth to my baby. I was sleeping at night, and when I woke up in the morning, I saw a dead baby beside me. And that was not the baby I gave birth to. And I looked at this woman. She was carrying my baby. And I was like, no, king, she's lying. And it was chaos here and there. Now, that was a serious issue because Solomon was not there when they gave birth. He did not know how the woman's baby looked like. So this was a serious issue. But Solomon knew one thing. He knew that a mother will not watch her child die. Okay? So Solomon now did a test, which none of the women knew. He told one of his soldiers, bring a sword and cut the child into two. Do you understand what that means? That means to kill the child. Cut the child into two. Give half to this woman, give the other half to this woman. Solomon knew that the real mother will not watch her child go through that. So the moment the soldier took the knife and was about to cut the baby, the real mother shouted, oh, king, please don't do that. Give the baby to this other woman. Let her take. Guess what the other woman did? She said, no, king, kill the baby so that nobody, that was how Solomon knew that, oh, this is not the real mother of this baby. Because if this was a child, you will not tell me to kill the child. All right, that was how Solomon settled the dispute. And everybody started saying, wow, Solomon is the wisest king ever. Okay, that was an amazing conflict resolution example. All right, so conflict resolution is the process of resolving a disagreement or dispute. Now, conflicts are a natural part of life. The goal is not to avoid them, but to learn how to handle them in a way that strengthens relationship. Now, who wants to share, their experience with conflict resolution? Let me share mine. I remember when I was still in junior secondary school, when I was still a little boy. Yeah, I was made the prefect in my school, and one of the rules and regulation is that you must wear a black belt. You must wear a black belt. For boys, you must wear a black belt. Any other color that is being seen will be seized by the prefect. So the prefects were authorized to seize any other belt that is not black. So I was telling my best friend that, because my best friend was putting on brown belt, I warned him the first time. You know, I'm now a prefect and I can't be partial. I can't seize other people's belt and leave you. I have to seize your belt. But now I'm giving you warning ahead of time so that when I seize your belt, you will not think I am being wicked or maybe I'm being inconsiderate. I told him the first time, he thought I was joking because we were friends. Like he was thinking I could not do it. I told him the second time because each time I seize other people's belts, they will tell me, but look at your friend, he's putting on brown belt. Why can't you seize it? All right. I will seize it and I'll give it back to him. But the third day, I actually seized his belt. And that caused a serious disagreement and a serious fight between us. Very serious fight. Like the fight was so serious that we could not greet ourselves, even when we see on the road. He stays on my street. We can't even talk to ourselves again. He was angry, and I was angry because I was like, why should you be angry? I warned you, and now you are angry. I should be the one angry because you made me look like a partial prefect. Why would I seize other people's belt and I will leave yours? Now, he was angry with me because he felt I'm his friend. I should consider I was teaching us on forgiveness and how to make peace with those that we are having issues with. It was so painful because I knew what I needed to do. Yes, I wasn't the one at fault, but based on the teachings I heard that day, I needed to go and apologize. Oh my goodness, you needed to see how I fought with that. I said, no, no, I won't be the one to say sorry because I'm not at fault. I'm not at fault. I just did what I am supposed to do as a prefect. But guess what? That kept troubling me. It kept troubling me until one day, while we were going home, I greeted him actually. Guess what he did? He snubbed me. Let me speak like Jennifer did last week. He gave me a cold shoulders. Oh, and that was so embarrassing. That was so embarrassing. And I told myself, I will not apologize again. I will not. If we want to fight and continue fighting, no problem. But he giving me a cold shoulders, I won't take that. And I went to church the next day, and our teacher repeated the same teaching. I was like, what? Then I went to meet her and I told her, Ma, see what happened. She told me, you need to apologize. I said, Ma, I can't apologize. He should be the one to apologize. He said, no. When you apologize, it doesn't mean you are weak. It doesn't mean you don't have sense. It simply means you are the wise one. You want peace to reign. And Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. That was what touched me. The next time I saw him, I greeted him. He gave me cold shoulders. I wanted to react, but I told myself, no, just apologize. And I apologized. And at first, he was, kind of not giving me that attitude. But after a while, he also apologized. And we became friends and we became best of friends again. Okay? Conflict resolution is not always easy. Sometimes you just need to. You just need to. There are times where you need to apologize. All right? Okay, let me go to the comment section and see what's happening. Okay. Tando said, when I was in grade 6 in life skills, which is a subject here in South Africa, they were trying to teach us conflict resolution, and this is making it much easier to understand. But I am in grade 8 now. Wow, that is amazing. All right, Murewa asked me, are you still in contact? Yes, I'm still in contact with him. We are still good friends. All right. That is the amazing thing with conflict resolution. You fight and you reconcile. Most of you here, you've had issues with your siblings, your brother, your sister. You're always fighting like Tom and Jerry. I don't know if you know Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry are always having issues. Tom, Jerry. By the end of the day, they are still friends. Okay. So the beautiful thing with conflict resolution is that it helps us understand ourselves better. Now I know what Daniela likes and what she does not like. Okay. Now I know what Kiki likes and what she does not like. Now I know what Christabel likes and what she does not like. Do you get that? So that is the beautiful thing about conflict resolution. We disagree to finally agree. All right. A lot of questions. Is he still your best friend? Yes, he's still my best friend. How old were you when it happened? I was 13 years old. I was still a young boy, very stubborn. You had to see me when I was a young boy, very stubborn. That was because I never had teachings like this. Had it been I met teachings like this, or I had a mentor, or I had someone that taught me about, all these amazing things you are learning in PDAC Academy, I would have been an amazing boy. But here I am today, still learning and serving you with my gifts. Okay. All right. So I hope none of you here is still having an unresolved conflict. It's very important. I hope none of you in this class is still having an unresolved conflict with someone, maybe your friend, your brother, your sister, even your mom and your dad. You can have conflict with them. Yes. So you shouldn't allow an unresolved conflict to linger for a long time. So if you know you are here, you have someone you are having conflict with, it's time to resolve it. By the end of this class, by the time you see the different methods on how to resolve conflict, you should be able to. Wow, Neil said he's still in conflict with it. Wow, okay, I want this class to be sincere and practical. If you are here and you know there is someone you are still having conflict with, can you indicate? Let me also check from my own side. Do I have someone? Okay, yeah, that was last week. Last week, I had serious conflict with my younger brother, very serious conflict, but we were able to resolve it, and now we are good. Okay. What? Kiki said, mine is still going. This is serious. Daniela said, what is his name and how old is he now? Okay, his name was Ayo. His name was Ayo, and we were both the same age as at then, but he was taller than myself. He was taller than myself. Yep. Okay, so Kiki and David is still having conflict. That is serious. Who else is still having? My elder brother. Wow. Anthony. Who else? Muna Shimso and Shizitedu. What? Okay, this is getting interesting. All right, all right. Okay, now I'm not saying that because you're having conflict, you are not a good child. No, 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 no. Conflict is a part of life. Get that? Conflict is a part of life. Conflict will surely come. Okay? Just like anger. Anger, people will always make you angry. You cannot tell yourself, I will never be angry again. No. As long as you're a human being, anger will come. So that is where we now have anger management. How do you manage the anger? How do you manage your anger? The same thing with conflict. Conflict will come. Conflict will come. You and your best friend will have conflict and disagreement. You and your siblings will have conflict and disagreement. Okay? Now, where the issue is, how do you resolve the conflict? How do you resolve the conflict? Okay, I'm seeing the comments pouring in. My elder sister, wow. Daniela is saying, sorry, I didn't hear your answer to my question. Okay, I said, you asked if what was his name. I said his name is Ayo. And how old was he? We were both 13 years old back then. We were 13 years old. 13. We were both stubborn boys. We play a lot. But the moment they made me a prefect, I needed to become a responsible young boy. Because once you're a prefect, a serious responsibility has been given to you. You have to be responsible. If not, you will bear the consequences. All right. Daniela loves to ask a lot of questions. Daniela wants to know my age. That is serious. Daniela, what do you want to do with my age? Don't worry, I will answer you behind the camera. Shemi Logo said, my younger brother. iPhone said, I have never had conflict with my friends. Wow, that is amazing. Daniela is asking, how old is he now? Oh my goodness. Seems like I'm going to award Daniela with the best questionnaire. Okay, so Ayo is 33 years old now. Tando said, girl, this is recorded. Okay, so now let us be serious. Those of you that are still having conflict with maybe your friend, your siblings, it's time to resolve those conflicts, okay? Yes, it's time to resolve those conflicts because as an amazing ambassador and as a child of God, you are not meant to keep malice. Let me explain the difference between conflict and malice. Conflict is the disagreement, which is not bad. Malice is now when you don't want to talk to that person again. You intentionally don't want to talk to the person because of the conflict. You see the person, you throw your face. The person greets you, you don't reply. And you yourself, you don't greet the person. That is malice, and that is very bad. It's very bad. That is why it's important to resolve conflict. Don't let it turn into malice. All right, let's move on. Okay, the goal is not to avoid them, but to learn how to handle them in a way that strengthens relationships. Okay, when you resolve conflict, your relationship with your friend, with your siblings becomes stronger, it becomes tighter. All right, that is a beautiful thing about resolving conflict. Okay, I saw a comment in the comment section from Kiki. Kiki said, so 5 weeks ago, I wasn't being treated with respect, and then we got into an argument and it went for 5 weeks. Kiki, 5 weeks of conflict. Well, that is much, man. That is too much. That is more than a month. Oh, Kiki, you need to settle that. You need to resolve that conflict. You really need to resolve that conflict. It's very important. Oh, David. Okay. Don't worry. I will talk to David. I know David can hear me. David, you need to resolve the conflict you have with Kiki and you need to respect her. All right? You need to show respect to your elderly ones, even if they are older than you with 1 year. Show them respect. It's very important. It's very what? It's very important. All right, let's move on. The 4 steps to resolving conflict. Everybody, this is so important now. You can write it down. These are the 4 steps to resolving conflict. Step 1, listen to each other. Listen to each other. So before I read this, let me read from my textbook. Why does conflict happen? Who can tell me why conflict happen? Why does conflict happen? Can anyone try? Why do you think conflicts happen? Let me go to the comment section and see what is going on. My ambassadors are being amazing today because we are not on the same page. Thank you, Tando. Kiki said, okay, that's Kiki. At a time last week, I was fighting with my classmate, but we settled later. Good, thank you, Murewa. Were you the same age that time? Yes, iPhone. Clash of interest. Thank you, Murewa. That is why conflicts happen. But let me read from the textbook. Conflict often happen because of a misunderstanding. That is one thing you should know. Conflicts often happen because of a misunderstanding. One person feels unheard or both people are focused only on their own needs, like Kwesi and Tabo. The key to resolving conflict is to look beyond the argument to find the real problem. Daniela, so if you look at the participants, there is someone with the name iPhone. So the person did not change his or her name. So I'm calling the name I'm seeing on my screen, okay? All right. Okay, so the first step to resolving conflict is listen to each other. Let each person speak without interrupting. Try to understand their point of view. Then number 2, identify the real problem. What is the root cause? Is it a misunderstanding or a lack of resources? So those of you that had issue with your siblings, what was the cause of that conflict? Then number 3, brainstorm solutions. Think of as many solutions as possible together. And lastly, agree on a solution. Choose the best solution and make a plan for how you will act differently in the future. Okay? So when you know what caused the problem, you try to avoid it in future. All right? Okay. All right. Oh, iPhone. Those with the iPhone, can you rename yourself or tell me your name so that I wow, you guys are so funny. Okay, let me go through the participants again. Yeah. So iPhone, if you can rename yourself so that I can call you by your name, that would be awesome. Okay. So let me call the names I can see on my screen based on how I'm seeing it on my screen. I have Anthony, Kiki, and David, Divine, Anu, Anuoluwasetemi. I hope I got that. I did not bite my tongue. Sorry if I did not get that pronunciation. And Dino, Chimamanda, and Nkem Sinachi, Courageous, and Shalom Malobo, Daniela. Then there's iPhone, Muna Shimso and Shizitelu, Obi and Kamso, Christabel, Murewa, Shemilogo, and Shemi and Dara, then Pando. Yeah, those are the names I have on my screen. Okay. Oh, I pronounced your name correctly. Thank God I did not bite my tongue. All right. Okay. So these are the first steps to resolving conflicts. Okay, so it's question time. Are we ready for the question? Our time is actually fast spent. What's the time? Oh, we have 8 more minutes to go. Who is ready for the question? Give me 100 in the comment section. Okay. Okay, I've seen the correction. All right, thank you. I'm seeing 1,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000. All right. So question time. Remember how we do it. I will read the question, read out the 4 options. All you have to do is pick the correct option. So if I read question 1, I'll read out the 4 options, A, B, C, and D. If the answer is C, just type 1C. You have to be fast, 1C. The answer is A, you type 1A. Then we'll move to question 2. If the answer is D, you type 2D. If the answer is C, you type 2C. Are we ready? Okay, so here comes question 1 because of our time. Question 1. What is the main idea of conflict resolution? What is the main idea of conflict resolution? A, yelling at people who disagree with you. B, finding a peaceful and constructive way to resolve disagreements. C, always getting your way. D, blaming someone else for a problem. Okay, the answer for number 1 is B. You all got it. Well done. Question 2. In the story, what was the initial reaction of Kwesi and Tabo? In the story, what was the initial reaction of Kwesi and Tabo to the problem? A, they were calm. Okay, Munashim, so maybe after the class, okay, I'll grant you the mic. Okay. Sorry for that distraction. Calm down. Who is Shemilog? I've not read question 2. Calm down. I'm not done with question 2 yet. In the story, what was the initial reaction of Kwesi and Tabo to the problem? A, they were calm. B, they found a solution. C, they got angry and started to argue. D, they blamed their mother. A lot of you are saying B. The answer for number 2 is C. So if you chose C, you are correct. The question is, what was the initial reaction? What did they do initially? C said they got angry and started to argue. Okay. Question 3. Kwesi and Tabo's father taught them that anger is like a storm because it A, it is strong. B, makes a lot of noise but doesn't solve the problem. C, is always right. D, is very loud. The answer for question 3 is B. The answer for question 3 is B. Kwesi and Tabo's father taught them that their anger is like a storm that makes a lot of noise but doesn't solve the problem. Question 4. The most important step in conflict resolution is to A, blame someone, B, yell at each other, C, listen to each other's side without interrupting, D, get angry. Good. The answer for number 4 is C. Number 5. Which of these is a benefit of resolving conflicts peacefully? Which of these is a benefit of resolving conflicts peacefully? A, you always win the argument. B, it makes you more angry. C, it builds stronger relationships and trust. D, it makes you more stubborn. Correct. The answer for number 5 is C. Number 5 is C. Question 6. The story of Kwesi and Tabo teaches us that resolving a conflict is not about one person winning, but about A, both people working together to find a solution. B, one person getting everything they want. C, forgetting about the problem. D, giving up. Correct. The answer for number 6 is A. Number 7. Which of these is the second step in the conflict resolution process? A, agree on a solution. B, brainstorm solution. C, identify the real problem. D, listen to each other. The answer is already on the screen, and which is C. C is the answer for number 7. Number 8. Kwesi and Tabo's real problem was that A, Kwesi was slow. B, Tabo was selfish. C, there was not enough time and not enough water for both of them. D, their mother was not helping out. Correct. The answer for number 8 is C. Number 9. The conflict was resolved by the conflict was resolved by the brothers. A, yelling at each other. B, agreeing on a solution together. C, forgetting about the water. D, making their mother angry. Correct. The answer for number 9 is B. And number 10, which is the last question. The quote, when we are no longer able to change the situation, we are challenged to change ourselves, means that when you can't solve a problem by changing the outside world, you must A, give up. B, change the way you think and act. C, blame others. D, get more angry. The answer for number 10 is B. Clap yourselves. That was amazing. Wow, that was super amazing. You guys smashed it. All right. So let's head over to reflection and affirmation. Now think about your gift or talent. How can you use your gift to help resolve a conflict? How can you use your gift to help resolve a conflict? Now, can you say these affirmations after me? I am a peaceful problem solver. I can solve conflicts. Okay, hold on. Let me ask you all to unmute because I want to hear your voices as we speak. Listen, we are taking the affirmations together. So you repeat after me. Don't go ahead of me so that the class will not be noisy. So I'm going to unmute everyone. You repeat after me. Okay? All right. Hold on. Okay. So now repeat after me. I am a peaceful problem solver.
I'm a peaceful problem solver.
I can solve conflicts with calm and grace.
I can resolve conflicts.
And I am resolved conflicts with calm and grace.
And I can
Listen to unbelievable
Command their
an
needs.
open heart and speak from the I choose to
Choose to
build
build
relationships
relationships
with
with all.
relationships stronger.
Relationships are stronger because of it.
How can you use your gift to help resolve a conflict?
Relationships are
I
All
am a
right.
because of
skillful
that.
problem solver and I can resolve conflicts.
Interesting. Okay. What an amazing. You guys are just rushing everything, but that is wonderful. Okay. All right. So that is okay. So the summary of the class is conflicts are a natural part of life. By using a simple four-step method of listening, identifying the problem, brainstorming, and agreeing on a solution, you can turn disagreements into opportunities to build stronger relationships. So let me get your feedback. You know how we do our feedback. I will read and then you pick the option A, B, C, or D. So the first question is, how well did this lesson help you understand what conflict resolution is? How well did this lesson help you understand what conflict resolution is? A, not at all. B, a little. C, fairly well. D, very well. Very well. Correct. Number 2, was the story of Kwesi and Tabo a helpful way to explain the topic? A, not at all. B, a little. C, fairly well. D, very well. Okay, thank you. Question 3, were the questions easy to understand? A, not at all. B, a little. C, fairly well. D, very well. Number 4, I am confident that I can start to use these skills to resolve conflicts in my life. A, not confident. B, a little confident. C, fairly confident. D, very confident. Question 5, my coach or mentor explained the lesson in a clear way. A, not clear at all. B, a little clear. C, fairly clear. D, very clear. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so who said you wanted to speak? Who? Can you indicate in the comment section? Somebody was telling me, sir, can I speak now? Who is the person? Kimuna Shimso and Chizitelu. Okay. You can unmute your mic.
Good evening, Coach Victor.
Good evening.
Coach Victor, please, I have a complaint.
Okay.
Coach Victor, when you're saying out the questions, most of them won't allow us to listen to questions and they'll start answering it.
Is it ahead of the question or?
Yes, ahead of the question.
Oh,